Okay, so I was just going to talk about the use of slings, what sort of anchors you can use them on as well. So you get a range of different slings. Some of them are going to be made from Dyneema and others would be made from nylon. The way in which you use them won't really alter, other than generally nylon's got a little bit more resistance to shock load and are normally a bit thicker and chunkier, a bit easier to undo when they've been knotted. Whereas a Dyneema sling's normally a bit thinner, a bit lighter. And you're also going to get a variety of different lengths as well. So common sort of lengths of slings would be sort of 60 centimetre sling, 120 centimetre sling, and then you've got these really big chunky ones as well, which are pretty useful for big massive boulders and big trees. So 240 centimetre sling as well. So these can be stowed away just by doubling these up and taking a carabiner and doubling it up again, twisting it so it goes tight, clip that back, and then that sort of stays nice and neat like that should you be carrying it on your harness. You could do the same with one of these shorter slings, or when you're climbing you can actually just stick it over your shoulder, pop your arm through, and then it's kind of stowed neatly there, and you can take that off when you're climbing. And same with a 60 centimetre one, you can pop that over your head and over your shoulder, keep it there for should you need it. So when it comes to placing a sling around a rock spike or a tree, you just need to make a sort of decision on its quality really. So one of the first things I'm going to do, like approaching a rock spike like this, is just sort of check it's got the right sort of shape so I could use it as an anchor. So by that, it needs to be sort of undercut enough or high enough that a sling would stay on it and not slip off. So I can pop a sling over the top, you know, and just check that it's not going to move, maybe just by moving the sling around a little bit, and so then it's sorted that I'm happy that it's going to sort of stay on there. I can also put my hand on top of a spike and just check for stability as well, just make sure it's absolutely sound and it's not going to peel off. And so of course I don't want to just come up to it and pull it away, so just test it progressively, give it a little tap, feel for any vibrations, and just ensure that it's definitely not going to move, and that you can then progressively kind of hit it harder until you're kind of happy and that you've done a thorough check and that it won't move off or won't pull off the cliff. So if you're using a spike like this, you're going to want to settle the sling down to the bottom of the spike just to reduce any potential leverage on your anchor. Just make sure it's well seated, and then always just sort of have a feel in and around the back where the sling's going to be sat on any of the edges, just to make sure there's not any sort of sharp bits that are going to cause damage to the sling or ultimately cause it to fail. So just be really thorough with that before you kind of commit to using it. If this big block didn't have this gap here, if there's a constriction, you might have to thread your sling. So this is where a longer sling might be useful. I can pass that through the gap and around, and then reclip with a carabiner.